What up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers podcast coming to you live and direct here, everywhere. Here, every week we talk about sports. No hot takes, no nonsense. It's currently 8:38 here in the East, 7:38 Central, 6:38 for my Mountain Town people, 5:38. Yo, for my West Coast peeps, it's the Sports Chasers podcast. Yo, where every week we talk about sports and we talk about it with some flavor, pizzazz, and some style. And yo, no hot takes. We don't do hot takes here. Yo, we ready to get it started this week. Yo, the NFL just started. Yo, we got a lot to dive in. Also, we're gonna do some of our predictions. A lot of good games is coming this past week. Cam Newton doing this thing with New England. Tom Brady says, my man DA said, hey, the same offensive line Tampa Bay had last year. They blaming Jameis. Tom threw 2, and now it's an issue. So we'll start here because the music jacked up. Well, we'll start with D-Dubb. What's up? What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Welcome to the Sports Chasers podcast, man. What's really good, Ken?
Man, I'm good, man. We had a good week.
Yeah. Had a good week.
You had a good week. And yo, we'll start with Eric. Eric, what's up, brother? Talk to the people as the music comes back on.
What up, Sports Chasers family? How y'all doing today? What's really good, man? D-Dubb, Kev, Boogie, Mike Mill, everybody. What's really good with y'all, man?
Hey, man, doing good here, doing good. DA, what's up, man? What's good, brother?
Hey, you know me, baby boy. Same old. Nothing but the same old, It didn't like Drano.
Bars,
man. Bars. Also, we're going to talk about MLB.
Bars.
God damn.
NBA, NHL. Do that. Mike Mills, what's up, brother? What's happening?
Buenos noches. What's good, everybody?
Buenas noches. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien. Yeah.
That means good evening for those of y'all who don't comprende how I'm Swayze this afternoon / evening. What's good?
Man, we good, man. We doing good here, man, as we fade out the music here, man. So, yo, we're on and popping here. As far as what we need to talk about, yo, we're gonna start with the NFL. We'll do our predictions here, but we'll also talk about week 1. And let's start off, guys. Let me see whose team we'll start off. We'll start off with Mike Mills' team. Mike Mills, you're there, brother, right? You're there, right? So, on Sunday at M&T Bank Field in Baltimore, Maryland, the Baltimore Ravens got rid of the Cleveland Browns, and they just did it with relatively ease. Looks like the Ravens didn't miss a beat. Beat them down. I believe the score was 33-6. Ravens look good, and the Browns look like the Browns. Mike Mills, your team, go in.
When the correct score was 38-6.
Sorry.
Lamar Jackson was out there throwing dots, continuing where he left off last year.
He was.
Mark Ingram said right before the game, a couple days before that, he looked even better and proved the point. The pocket collapsed a couple times. Instead of him taking off and running as he did last year, just created time with his legs. That's the next step. It's all about development and progression in all facets of the game. We ran the ball like Baltimore do. It wasn't too effective, but I like how we limited the carries on Lamar.
It's about what?
It's about progression and running the ball.
Well,
only 7 times.
Oh, okay.
7
okay.
carries.
I'm just letting you know. You just said it. You setting up something for me to get to later. Go ahead.
We only ran the ball 7 times with Lamar. People was talking about the way he played can't be maintained. I think he looked all right. I think he looked good out there. And Baker Boy is looking more fraudulent as the years progress. He had a flat He was hot when he started. Now he's garbage, as Jay-Z once said. That's how Baker Boy's looking. Them Browns, I don't know, man. They got all the offensive weapons in the world, but they just can't put it together. Kev Stefanski better get it together. He gonna be out after one season like the rest of them coaches in Cleveland. But that's my take on the game.
It's going to be hard for them, man. It's going to be hard for Cleveland with all those guys there. A lot of egos in the room, and not in a bad way. I think everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to help the team win in their own way. But if there's no, and me and Darrell talked about this earlier, if there's no leadership at the top to kind of direct those energies, this is what you get, right? So if you're a general, you have your tanks here, your planes here, your infantry there, supplies over here, all coming together for one thing. I don't think at this point in time they have it all pulled together. And I don't think they have the right players to get it done. Now, they got great players, and I'm not mad at none of them. I just, Baker may be in the wrong system for a dude that needs to be developed. A lot was thrown on him early, and I don't know how good he was. I'm from the Bill Parcells School of Quarterbacks. If you don't play 30 games in college, I'm not drafting you. So, that's kind of what it is. And I give him the props for, he fought up from Texas Tech, and he was like, he fought up from there, and he went to another school, and someone else was there, he had to leave, and he ended up at Oklahoma, and so I give him props for that. But right. That only lasts but for so long.
Well, and D-Dubb was talking about making sure that development. Him and what Mike Mills was starting off about Lamar Jackson. About last year, Lamar Jackson would have ran with that ball, right, Mike? You were saying, and this year he used his legs. On Sunday's game, he used his legs just to bomb a little bit more time to pinpoint those passes. And make them look really, really good, man. So, shout out to Baltimore. Eric, anything to add on the Baltimore game?
Cleveland got washed. Plain and simple, they got washed. But I will say this, y'all know, I'm like the quarterback guru or whatever. I'm gonna say this, man. To any quarterback, we got it going with Sam Darnold. You got Baker Mayfield. You cannot build a foundation with shuffling of the feet and with the head coaches, with your offensive coordinators, with your quarterback coaches. You can't develop. How are you going to develop anything like that? Everybody's tearing them this way. You do this. You do this. You read this. You read this. You go this way. You go. That ain't going to work, man. Baker Mayfield, and I don't really care for Baker Mayfield. I don't care for none of the Browns, but I will say this. I'll be fair to everybody. I've been saying this, Kev, D, y'all know this. I've been saying this for years, all the way back to Jason Campbell days back in Washington, way back when.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot expect any quarterback, I don't care how great he was in college, what he did in high school, doesn't matter. When you keep on shuffling the feet in management of an organization, you are doomed. And your quarterback is going to follow right behind you. So, but it was a great game by the Baltimore Ravens. Let's not take away what Baltimore did. They came in there, like Mike said last week, they owed them that. So, they got it.
Okay. D-Dubb, anything to add before we move on to our next game?
Yo, Baltimore did good. My man Lamar Jackson, he put together a good game. He didn't do it wasn't all running, but he was very efficient when throwing that ball and effective throwing the ball downfield. So
Diane retired and opened that pottery studio.
How'd you come up with all these backstories?
I got help from a pro. My financial professional explained to me all the ways Nationwide can help protect financial.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So he was good. That way with the ball. Now the Browns is a whole nother story, man. That organization is just bad. And I'm sorry, man. Again, we talked about this. we talked about this off air, and we talked about how coaches, management, coaches coach, and the managers manage. And, you know, here's the thing. Nobody's holding these guys accountable. Over the years, you keep on firing coach after coach after coach. Now you look at the teams that had a solid coach over the years and the consistency, other than the Cowboys, because they had Jason Garrett for almost 10 years and they kept on doing the same thing. But the development, they had an offensive line. He just couldn't get them to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? But they was consistent. Even when they lost, they wasn't. At least they're making the playoffs, or they on the cusp of making the playoffs. The Browns have the same problems every year. You think they're going the last 2-3 years? You think they was going to be good, and they can't make it. They either end up just wet in the bed totally, and then they never been to the top. When was the last time we seen them go to?
I mean, you had to go back. This is.
You understand what I'm saying?
Made the playoffs?
Brian,
Who are you talking about?
The Browns.
Oh,
Last time they
had-
made the
no,
playoffs?
honestly, if
No,
I
they-
may,
Go ahead, E. No, I was going to say, I think you're going to say it was not, but it wasn't more than 20 years ago they made it. I think it was with Couch or one of those.
Nah, they made it with David Anderson, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah, one
They
of
went
those.
10-6
Yeah.
with DA, the other DA. But I was about to say,
And they had who was the running back? Was it Lewis?
I'm not sure.
Was it that year?
No, I don't think it was that year.
I
It might
don't know,
have.
but I'll find it though.
But nevertheless, my point is that consistency. You look at the Steelers, DA, me and you talk, the Steelers, same coach, even when they had to skip a brief patch in the road, they still was able to, you know, build the team, keep the team consistent. Last year, what they finished? Almost 8-8, almost last year? Gotta look that up.
almost 7-9, something like that. But they got bounced the last game of the year out of the playoff race.
Right. But it was close too. But I'm just saying, man, you gotta be consistent, man. You can't have these guys just all over the place. This is what you got. And the Browns is one of many teams that face the same situation.
Now the Browns did have a winning coach in the interim, and when Greg Williams took over, they went 5-3. But because some of the players didn't like Greg Williams, they didn't like him. Forget that we're winning and we look good every week. We don't like him, so we're gonna go get Freddie Kitchens, who you fired after the season. So like, what are you doing out there?
Well, this is to end on the Browns and Ravens notes, and we're gonna go on to the next game to talk about. Just goes to show that if you don't have consistency, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get mediocrity. And that's what the Browns been living in. And since they reincarnated after the Browns moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens, and they became an expansion team, and really haven't been anything since, man. And if you want to go back to the heydays when Dorian probably remembers of the Browns having Brian Sipe and they having
Bernie Kosar.
Bernie.
They actually beat Denver. They beat Denver both of those games. They just fumbled at the end.
At the end, yeah.
Like they were a better team.
And the Browns were about to become really good prior to their first incarnation. But then they left and moved to Baltimore.
They should have came. Y'all should have came to Baltimore. Y'all was mad. Y'all wanted to stay in Cleveland. Our history's in Cleveland. We want to stay. You should have came to Baltimore. We expansion team with 2 rings.
Ray Lewis.
I don't got 2 rings this century.
Ray Lewis I believe he was drafted for the Browns in 1 year. What, am I right?
Yeah.
Ray got drafted in 96. Yeah, first
year. Yeah, and then they moved. And then that was it.
Real quick, before we go on to the next one, I just want you all to hear these names. These are guys on this year's roster. Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, David Njoku, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper. I'm just giving you big names. Denzel Ward, Olivia Vernon, right? And Jack Conklin, one of the best linemen out there.
They should be balling.
Yeah, so it's not the players. It can never be the players if there's that many good players on the team. The coach is just not pulling it together.
Yep.
That's what you get paid to do. So.
Yeah. Well.
On a one more note, Kev, look at these coaches there. 2020 Stefanski, that's the new coach. Freddie Kitchens in 2019. William Jackson, 2018. Jackson, 2017. Jackson, 2016. 2015. Pettentine, 2014. Pettentine. 2013. Chadinsky. 2012. Pat Sherman. Pat Sherman, 2011. Mangini, 2010. Mangini, 2009. Romeo Cornell, 2008. Cornell. 2004. Davis Rubisky. Davis. I mean, come on, dog. I mean.
So Sherman coached them, and then the Giants hired Sherman? Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Sherman, they finished.
But they didn't have players back then.
Huh?
So they didn't have players back then when Sherman.
If you coach the Browns, I don't want you on any staff. I'm creating. Okay. I don't care if it's a community outreach staff.
Treating the Browns like they got COVID-19.
Okay,
you can't
they
even
didn't have players then.
Kids.
2019, they 16-10. I mean 6-10. 2018, 7-8. 2017, 0-16. 2016, 1-15.
Hey, and guess what? From loser to loser, Sheldon Richardson, I think he was like #1 draft pick by the New York Jets, defensive tackle, is also on the Browns. They're like the home for wayward children.
It's like the elephant graveyard.
You can't put everybody because they're good on your team. You got to have some glue guys. You got to have, it takes a lot to build a team. So.
That goes to show you when you have no leadership, you have nothing but a clusterfuck.
Yeah, well,
that's true.
That's on the owner. All right, we can move on.
Yeah,
let's move on to the next game. So we'll move on to the Arizona Cardinals surprisingly beating the San Francisco Giants.
Bird game.
49ers, and I expected it. So I'm not. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Niners. They let D-Hop 14 catches, 151 yards. Who the fuck was guarding him? Me, and I didn't know it. Like, what the fuck?
24-20, the final score. Go ahead, it's your team.
Crunch time. I told you guys, man.
You told us on the chat, yeah.
Jimmy is not that dude. As much as people like to make him that dude, he's not. He's
he played under Tom Brady.
So what? Exactly. He was a backup, B. Just like Nick Foles was a backup, B. That backup shit becomes a mentality.
Nick Foles won a Super Bowl.
He's still a backup. He couldn't beat out Nick Trubisky. Right?
Who balled out this week? Shout out to Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If people say this, but people don't listen, man. When they tell you, Matt, what's the dude in Miami? Magic Time, whatever his name is.
Fitzpatrick.
Fitzmagic.
Trubisky did what? He balled out. Oh, wait till we get to that game.
Yeah, that's not. He didn't ball out, but the reality is this, man. That becomes a mindset, and when you're a backup, you stay a backup. You live like a backup, do things like a backup. I'm not saying the kid ain't got no talent, but if he did, he wouldn't have been the backup. You know what I mean? He wouldn't. They drafted him because he was going to be a backup. So
right now, you're going to take a major dump on your Super Bowl.
That don't matter to me, man. Listen, I've been there 5 times, baby. We used to this.
Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we could say, as a team, we lost a little on defense because they thought this guy was going to pick it up. They actually just signed Mohamed Sanu today. They get another receiver in there that can maybe catch some rocks. And he's not great. He's definitely not.
Back?
We got 8 of them, but they're good. I don't care. Mostert.
Like 8 for
No, it's 3 of them.
It's Monster, McKinnon, and Coleman. So Monster had 56, McKinnon had 24, and Coleman had 18 on Sunday.
Yeah. We get our 100 yards. We get our 100 yards out the running game every game.
So they rushed for 18, 22 times between the two. Even if it's but
Garoppolo throwing the ball over 20 times.
He threw the ball. He was 19 of 33.
Yeah, that's
259 yards.
It's too much.
That's not good. That's not good.
For him. Yeah, it's too
No,
much for him.
no. It's too much. It's not good.
Game man.
25 at most for him.
I try to tell people to look at history, man. Last year, we were winning a game against Minnesota in the middle of the third quarter. We did not throw the ball again that game. That's all the fuck you need to know.
With that, okay, go ahead.
With that said, we took an L to a really good up-and-coming team. My man Russell is still the class of that division. And I can probably see Seattle winning and hoping that we can follow up, but I'm not sure we'll be good enough to make the wild card. So we'll see. We'll see what the defense what happens with the defense. They'll have to come on, but it didn't look like they could come on on Sunday. It didn't look like they had the same flow as they had last year. So that's what I see, and we're out.
So Eric. So Eric, Eric is a fan of the Cardinals. Eric, tell me what you think about your team, Arizona.
Let me first start out by saying shout out to Car Seat Kyler.
Car Seat Kyler.
On the road, he got it
Murray.
done. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Let me be the first to say I was very uneasy about the hiring of this guy. Damn coach name. I don't even know my coach name.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, right? Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
In the manner in which they did it, right? We talked about this last week. DA talked about it. I ain't got to go all the way through it. Much like many hires, after it's done, you have your opinions about it, how it was done, whatever, and then you sit back and be like, okay, let's see what they can do. Okay. I seen growth during the year last year. They became competitive toward the end of the year, which is always how you want to end the year, on a good note, finishing out strong. And with the addition of who I told Mike, yes, I still say that we paid too much for him, even with 14 catches and 160-some yards. That's just my personal opinion. However, he cashed out. This is why they went and got him, because he catches the damn ball. And not only that, he can help Fitzgerald teach these young boys how to run routes and all this other stuff that is much needed in this type of offense. You don't need speed, you need route runners, kind of like how we going to probably talk about with the New England Tom Brady's scenario, whatever later on in the program. But I'm just saying, it's different schemes need different type of players, and you have to know that going in. You know what I'm saying? That's part of leadership. So Kingsbury and the boys played great. The defense shocked me. I will say that the Arizona defense got after it. After a while, they got punched in the mouth. They responded, and they let Jimmy G do what Jimmy G does best. So, I mean, what can I say, man? And I agree with DA. Russell Wilson is still the cream of the crop. Seattle got weapons, and them boys can hit. But I think I think Arizona is probably a year away to compete for the division. But they keep going in the right direction, man. They'll be there.
And for us, hopefully, we get old boy back. Man. University of South Carolina. Yeah, Debo didn't play. He's hurt, and it reminds me of when we had Alex Smith. We was really good. We lost to the Giants that year. We had Alex Smith that year, and too many drives on Sunday. We got into the red zone and ended up kicking field goals. I know we pay our kicker $8 million a year, but the reality is and he deserves the money. He's the best in the league, but we got to score touchdowns down there, man.
Second best in the league. Justin Tucker plays for the Ravens.
Nah, he ain't better than my man.
Justin Tucker's the best kicker in the league.
He's not. It's not.
Who won head-to-head last year? Justin Tucker.
They played each other and I didn't know? What the fuck when the hell did the kickers play each other? At a kicker game?
It was in the parking lot. You ain't get tickets.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta be official.
Yeah, I don't get tickets to the parking lot stuff. So
tickets to the parking lot, Jesus.
Tickets to the parking lot.
Yo, your man, DeAndre Hopkins, he balled out, man. I'm looking at like 14.
What's he on 151?
For 151, no TDs, but my God, he was targeted a lot.
He helped move the ball when you need that. When you need to move the chains, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 13, you go to D-Hop, man. That's
what did I say?
That's the problem for Houston. Why Houston looked like trash against Kansas City. I mean, what's his name? What's the quarterback? What's my man's name?
Deshaun Watson.
Watson. Yo, it's gonna be a rough year for him, man. Rough year. I'm glad he got paid, right?
Yeah, he got paid.
He got the bag.
He's good, man. He's good. He got the bag, so he's good.
He might want to sprinkle some of that money to that offer. Well, I know he ain't gonna do that.
Hey,
I'm saying it jokingly. You need to spread some of that money to that. They need to get that
not
offer
giving back no money, son. We are not giving back no money.
Get out my pocket.
Get out, yeah. He is not giving back no money. But he did. He's gonna have a long year, man.
We said it earlier.
Told you.
Well, go ahead, Mike.
I told you. I said it last week. We was talking. I told you. DeAndre Hopkins is worth every penny. He had Brian Hoyer and had 100 catches and 1,000 receptions.
I don't doubt that at all. You're right.
And Kyler can throw better than Brian Hoyer. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
True.
DeAndre Hopkins is worth the bread. But that might be the toughest division in football, that NFC West,
by far.
Because the Rams had a bad year, but they not no slouch. They just had a little bad time, and their running back situation was murky. They got some Rams, young legs back there now. Seattle, Arizona. Russell was out here looking like the super gladiator. He out here beating teams by himself some nights. The 49ers had a bad week, but if they get back to running the ball and playing defense, they'll be.
I totally agree. They got to run the ball more and more efficiently.
And the Cardinals are a year or two away. So that might be the toughest division in football. Like that.
I don't know if we jumping the gun, Kev, but
definitely the toughest division in football.
Yeah, Kev. I don't know if we jumping the gun, but if you go into Seattle, yo, man, and Mike, you right. Russell like won that game by himself.
So let me say this, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that Seattle game. Me and DA always says, if anybody's deserving of the bag because he makes mud, how can I say it? He makes Thanksgiving dinner out of mud. It's Dan Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he's definitely the Black Jesus.
He says, you know what? I want all the bag, and I'm gonna take Dorian, Kevin, Mike, and Eric off the parking lot. Right? We in the parking lot, and I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get Eric like 114 catches for 150 yards. Yo, Dorian and Kev, they blocking and stuff. Yo, they gonna be good. That's what he does every year. And now I'm starting to hear people really, really appreciating this guy that, Russell Wilson is really the truth, man.
He keeps that up, man. He's got to be in the conversation. I mean, not like serious talk for MVP.
He doesn't have pieces.
If the Ravens ain't go 14-2, that was his MVP last year. Let's be real. If
correct, though.
14-2, that was his.
Correct.
The love that guy gives from me is just simple, man. He stood up and stood on his. He said, yo, look, man, I'm going to take this bag. But I'm going to play. Right. And no matter who you put out here with me, we're going to always have a chance because I got the bag.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm the man.
I'm driving the Bentley home. I got the helicopter in the parking lot because I'm fucking supposed to. I took four of these guys and 2 of these guys, and we won 15 games.
Which debunks what people be saying about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers got talent around him. I don't want to hear nothing about Devontae Adams is not good. Devontae Adams has been good.
And he bought up. We'll get to that.
He's been good.
So we'll just talk about the Seattle and Falcon game. We'll move off that game. But the Seahawks went down to Atlanta 138-25. And as we were saying, Russell Wilson, he threw 31 of 35, 322, 4 TDs. Hold on. Let me say this one more time. 31 for 35, 322 yards, 4 TDs.
My man, listen.
And he threw to the likes. Hold on. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carlson,
Hold up.
David Moore, Greg Olsen. Y'all forgot about Greg Olsen? Shout out to Greg Olsen. This man, Carolina.
Let's real football heads know Tyler Lockett is a problem, dog. And DK Metcalf is probably the next reincarnation of Anquan Bolden, the toughest receiver out there.
Right.
Yeah, if Anquan or my man T.O. That's right. I throw it up for my man T.O.
And let me just say this
and this
real
is
quick.
this is Metcalf's second year.
Yeah. And let me just say this real quick. With all that being said about Russell Wilson, you know what's the greatest common denominator? He's had the same damn coach, same damn foundation.
Same offense.
But Russ been getting out the mud since college. When he's at NC State, who's on that team? Nobody. Went to Wisconsin. Nobody.
Won the Rose Bowl.
Nobody.
They put him on the bench.
Somebody get Keith Sweat playing. Somebody get Keith Sweat for me.
Russell's out there. Russell's the ultimate warrior.
Nobody. Who can do it like me? Nobody.
And that's a talent that is underrated.
Baby.
When you get guys like a say what you want, when you get guys like a Tom Brady, like a Russell Wilson, that will play with anybody and will still go and win, that is very underrated.
And don't complain. He don't get on the sideline. I ain't got any receivers. Who I'm throwing to? Russ throw it to anybody. Catch. Russ is flinging the ball. Go get it.
And for the Jets, you get rid of Jamal Adams, who is a monster. Dude had 8 solo tackles, 4 assists, 1 sack, and almost got an INT. So he leaves the Jets that are doing nothing just simply by moving to a team that's winning. And he was balling with the Jets. Absolutely positively balling with the Jets.
Balling.
But these guys get jobs over and over and fucking over again.
Speak on it, D. Speak on it.
Say it with
This is what we talking about.
Yeah, man.
This is what we talking about, man. This is what
I'm done. Listen.
This narrative got to stop with these coaches and stuff like that. And this is what the mainstream is not putting out there. And we need to talk about.
Exactly, D. It's not a black-white thing per se. But when you watching games this weekend and dudes are bigging up Leslie Frazier and how good of a D coordinator he is with the Bills, how he got their defense rocking. You know, an old boy who's with the Tampa Bay now. What's buddy with the Jets? Who's the coach? What's the brother's name?
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. Look at the defense they got there in Tampa Bay. Those dudes, the Todd Bowles. So, yeah, he's all this good, but he wasn't good enough to coach. You go out to Denver, my man Van only had 1 year to coach.
Fired.
They fired Van after 1 year. And this dude that's in there that used to be with the 49ers, his ass haven't won as many games as that dude won in 1 year in 3 years.
And he ain't used no timeouts last night. Let's not talk about that.
He retarded.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about it because I'm watching him. I'm watching.
How you ain't use?
We're watching all of them.
How you ain't use no timeouts? How you ain't use no timeouts?
Wait, Mike. Let me just cap off this Seattle versus Atlanta. So Atlanta.
Let me go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying
we didn't talk about Atlanta and Atlanta.
Right. Trash.
I'm done with Matt Ryan. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with him. I'm done. Matty Ice is
Melton.
Matty is Milton Ice. That's what it is. It's Milton Ice. Okay, he's the polar glacier that's melting in Antarctica. All right.
And my boy Julio, guarantee you Julio is gonna sit out 4 games this year.
You know
he'll be hurt for 4 this year.
Julio.
Every year.
I don't want to hear nothing about him being the best in the game.
Timeshare. Listen. When you have a stat line, when you have a stat line of 37 of 54, 450 yards with 2 touchdowns, and you still lose by 13 at home.
Well,
so
now, as bad as Matt is, let's not forget. Let's talk about the coaching because when Atlanta was winning a couple years ago,
right,
they was running the ball. They had Michael Turner back there, and then a couple years later, we want Matt to be the guy, and they've been doing this throw the ball routine for about 8 years now. Let's throw the ball and lose and make it look good.
Well,
stop throwing the ball 50 times a game.
Well, Mike,
why are you throwing the ball 50 times a game?
They had Tevin Coleman, who is now with the San Francisco 49ers, and they had
Devontae Freeman, who's now a free agent.
Yeah, so
they have.
They got Todd Gurley now.
Todd Gurley not running the ball.
How many times he run the ball last night?
14
times.
14 times. 14 for 56 yards.
But
my man, and listen,
50 times in
one touchdown, right?
One touchdown. That's correct.
Julio, right? He 9 for 157. Calvin Ridley, who's going to be a monster.
Yes.
Mark my words.
Want to be a problem. Yes.
Those Alabama wide receivers.
All
three of them.
Whoa. Wait,
yeah, something about the
wait. We think he's going to be a monster, but that depends on
until his legs fall off.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. But because that's another story that for another day that we talked about.
Yeah.
About being abused in college.
I think these last three Alabama receivers that are coming out now, and there's 4 of them actually that played last year. I think they may be in better shape than the Julio Joneses and other players that played at Alabama that kind of got grinded down during their college career, because these 3 guys shared reps. So they didn't have to do it all on their own. So dude that plays at Denver, you got Ridley and the other guy, I forget where the hell he went, but I'll get him. But they shared reps, so it wasn't as bad. But the reality is you can't throw for that much and lose. The coach, the head coach now, was a defensive guy, supposedly, with Seattle. So why the fuck doesn't 450 yards win you a game? In what world does that happen?
Yeah,
because the quarterback throws for 500 yards and you don't win.
Because it wasn't even Calvin Ridley. Well, he had 9 targets, 130 yards, and then you had this guy Russell Gage, 9 receptions, 114. So what happened here?
This is what happened when you don't develop your secondary. They got Deion Jones. The front 7 is decent. I'm not going to say they're great, but they're decent. The back end of Atlanta defense has been trash since Deion left. Quote me on it. Desmond Trufant finally got out of there.
Yeah, well, because
I thought Trufant was going to save him.
Yeah, they don't have nobody back there, and Deion Jones, Isaiah Oliver, Grady Jarrett. Jarrett is
D lineman.
He's a he's a D tackle.
Yeah,
Pro Bowler last year.
He's decent. Yeah, he's a decent player.
But he can't cover receivers.
No, he can't. You're right. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I'm sorry, Kev. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Falcons going Falcon in finality. Falcons is going Falcon.
You're right.
Go ahead, Kev.
Kev, you got the Michael Jordan crying face on. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we was about to make you a meme, nigga. About to be a meme.
He had that face, dude. You crying? All right, go ahead, man.
You was about to be a meme.
You froze it. Okay.
He's gonna put more Beyonce on.
Oh God, stop.
No. So we'll stop right here with the Seahawks and the Falcons game, and we'll move to the first Monday night game. And I'm gonna let D-Dubb go in first. The New York Football Giants took on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Meadowlands last night. Game started at 7 p.m. The Steelers won 26-16 going away. And there was really a defining moment in this game. And I'm going to skip being the moderator and to being kind of diving into this one. The Giants had a 19-play drive. 19 plays. Took up almost 10 some odd minutes of the quarter. Daniel Jones around the 5-yard line gets he's back to pass, and he goes back to pass, and he gets hit by the Steelers defense, which earlier they looked like it wasn't going to be, and they really balled out last night and really put pressure on Saquon Barkley. Well, going back to that 19-play drive where Daniel Jones goes back to throw in, he throws a wailing duck and is intercepted around the 2-yard line. That really took the Steelers out of the Giants, and I knew from right there. I said the Giants are not going to win this game. The Giants, that just took everything out of them.
Kev, it took everything out of me, and I was on the couch. I was like, "What is going on?"
The
I was
Steelers.
on the couch. I felt that. I felt it on the couch.
Right. The Steelers defense was gassed. They was gassed. You gotta get something. You can't just throw that ball away. And we talked about development plays. Yeah,
you can't throw that ball away. You know why you can do that? Because who did y'all draft him to replace?
Yeah. So he put in the chat last night. Daniel Manning or something like that. I was like,
Dog,
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, man. I was living.
Kev, I'm telling you, on that couch, I'm looking at this and I'm like, no, why? In your mind, you know you cannot make this play. You know you're getting pressure. Throw the ball away. And I think after I watched the replay again, he was attempting to throw the ball out the back end of the end zone, but he got hit. And my thing is, throw it. Kev, it was awful. And then
just throw it on the floor, something. Throw it at the receiver. So,
it killed. It was such a momentum killer. I mean, it was terrible.
I was sick. I knew we were gonna lose. I was like, oh, we lost. This is it.
That killed everything, and you could tell just deflated. It was like
boys is laughing at us down.
Dog, because it's I try to take myself out of it, man, because it's hurtful, man. After you get fed for such a long time, and you look at this stuff and you be like, come on, when are we ever gonna get it? Like,
man,
we gotta pay for D to go see a therapist.
I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna have to get that EAP from the job, dog. For real.
I'm gonna tell y'all, like we talk about every other team, man. You got a brand new coach, brand new scheme, brand new system. And I agree that offensive line, even though you played Pittsburgh, who is kind of heavy down there in them trenches, but your offensive line needs some work. However, it's the first year, first game. They will hopefully get better. Hopefully when Barkley gets to running behind that line, if they can ever find a hole for him.
That's if he survives. And how long have we been talking? I've been talking about
you've been saying it for
3 to 4 years already.
3 and 4, yes, for about 3 or 4 years.
When are you gonna get it? And then you go from coach to coach, the general manager. I mean, like, come on.
The Giants.
Let me stop. Go ahead, Dorian. Hold on. Let me just, before you get to the point. I just know that the Giants can't have Daniel Jones throwing the ball 40 times. That's one. 2, Saquon Barkley can't just be running the ball for 15 times. So they need to kind of flip that where
41 times.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley needs to run between like 25 to maybe 26, 27 times a game. And Daniel Jones maybe throw for no more than 35.
And Kev, I got it. But he can't run. The whole first half. He can't go nowhere.
Yeah, I know you're looking for them linemen to come, but most linemen are pretty fat and they move slow, so they'll get there by game 4. They're on their way. They're just not there yet, man. They're coming.
It is frustrating watching this team, watching these guys. Go ahead, Mike.
Y'all seem upset, like y'all ain't been through this for the last on and off for the last 15 years. Who did y'all draft him to replace? Y'all was replacing Eli, right? Well, y'all got his doppelganger. You got Danny Eli Jr. III out there playing quarterback.
And Mikey, please, fans out here, do not call this man Danny Dimes, Donnie Dan. I don't know what. I do not want to hear nothing about Danny Dimes.
Say it again.
He will be Daniel Jones from now on until we see something different.
That's Daniel Eli Manning Jr. to
y'all. Daniel Eli Manning Jones. That's his name.
Oh, looking terrible. That drive looked wonderful. Like he was actually out there orchestrating. Oh, cool. I don't have any space to get this pass off. Let me run for a couple yards. Let me get down before the contact. Slide. Let me hustle. Let me get out of bounds before the contact. Dunk it off. Boom. 5 yards, 10 yards here. That's how you orchestrate. and there was no excuse for that interception. Why
He
you have
did-
all the
Mike-
sideline?
Mike, he did
You was
everything
using the
right.
sideline the whole time. You forgot
did
about it when you
every-
got to the end zone? That was
Thank
an
you.
Eli move. You drafted another Eli.
Dog, he did everything right up until that
Oh
point.
God, man! Oh
And just
God.
like it's just like he just went dumb again. Like just you stupid. Like
Turns into Eli Forrest Gump out there in front of
I-
our very eyes.
I'm sorry, man.
And it was like
Giants
a defensive
fans?
lineman caught that.
Giants fans, it's week 1.
Lace
I
up.
got it. But listen, dog,
Week 1.
I don't now. And getting back to Pittsburgh, I don't want to hear Pittsburgh talk about our defense is. Wait, slow down. Y'all played a team that offensive line is trash. Yes, you look good, but give me a couple weeks. And that goes to your point. It's only week 1.
So,
but for a fan of the Giants, it feels like it's we're going back down the same lane again.
so let's talk about the Steelers for a little bit. Big Ben, he's back. I don't know his stats offhand. He threw the ball really well last night.
21-32.
21-32.
229, 3 TDs. 2 sacks.
It looks like
17 quarterback rating.
looks like James Conner has lost his starting job. When I see Benny Snell running the ball, I was like, well, where is James Conner at?
O'Connor got hurt.
Yeah, I
He messed up his ankle.
But Snell Jr. got his job. Yeah, believe that.
That's real talk. So
until he messes it up, but for right now, he looked really good last night.
he absolutely did, man. So
Not to interject, but Jimmy Butler just hit a big bucket, man.
You see that? Yeah,
and one. Oh man, Miami's
up by 2 with 12 to go. The first game of the Eastern Conference Finals. We can't be like recording this. I mean, doing play-by-play. ESPN will get us anyway. We're moving right along. The Dallas game, the Sunday night standalone game. The Dallas Cowboys go to the new stadium down there in LA to play the Rams in their new home and their new uniforms, which I can't stand. I just wish they just go back to the Eric Dickerson days. The Rams win the game 20-17. Let's go through the stats here a little bit. Dak Prescott, he was 25 for 39, 266 through 1 TD. Zeke Elliott rushed for almost 100 yards, 22 on 96. He had a touchdown.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
2 things. One, your man Bam Adebayo just blocked Jason Tatum's dunk at the rim. Part 1. Part 2 is, I'm sorry, guys, we shouldn't be doing that. Part 2 is Dallas still refuses to build a team that can win a championship. They are 5 degrees better than Cleveland, but they still are not, out there trying to they're still not there trying to build the team correctly. So you have names on offense, they'll load up, and then your defense is weak, right? So at this point in time, they had, I think, one of the best offensives in the league last year.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a big thing. So they should have loaded up on defense this year. We first pick, we get D.D. Lamb. What?
Fifi and CC, DD, CD Lamb, yeah, CD Lamb.
Whereas, and I'm not knocking him as a player.
No, he's a great player. Great player.
Yeah, I watched him last night, and it was serious. But what I'm saying to you is, real talk, there was no reason to do that, man.
It's not what you needed.
It was not what you needed, man. Build for your needs, man. I mean, if there was no COVID, you was going to sell out the stadium anyway, Jerry. It didn't matter. You didn't have to get this dude. Like, I don't understand that, man. You know, I'm not mad at them, but they still refuse to build a team that's going to win. They still refuse to build a team that's going to win inside out. So it's on them, man. It's really on them. I can't do it with them, man. I'm out. I'm out with Dallas, man. But it wasn't a bad game. Yeah, it wasn't a bad game. But yeah, they just got stopped. It's just shenanigans.
Eric, what's your thoughts on the Cowboys and the Rams game?
I honestly, even though it was a close game, I think it felt like Dallas was missing something. I don't know what that was, but it could be the distractions with the whole Dak and Skip. I don't know. But for the Rams to do what they were able to do, I think Dallas has a pretty decent front seven to counter the Rams' offensive line. I felt like coming into the game that the Rams had no shot because they are very dependent off the play action. In order to have play action, you have to be able to run the ball. I didn't think LA would be able to run the ball on Dallas. Boy, was I wrong. And and between Cooper Kupp and what's his name, Robert Woods and Eli Shepard and everybody else that they had on their team was just catching everything. It made Jared Goff look like a actual quarterback.
Malcolm Brown. Yeah, they spread the love around.
They came in with a game plan and they attacked, and Dallas just looked. They was in the game, but they was out of the game at the same time. I don't know how else to explain.
Yeah, I would say the score is not indicative of what the Cowboys to me never looked like they was in the game.
Right.
Oh,
I agree.
Yeah, it just never was indicative. D-Dubb, what you got on Dallas real quick?
Yeah, man, it looked like Dallas was just going through the motions, man. They didn't look like that. They didn't.
Crisp.
Yeah, it wasn't crisp. And, again, we could attribute this to the COVID, the guys not playing for some. It is week one. And I know people would say, well, you say it's week one and for some teams, and then you say some teams you just know how the Cowboys play. If you watch the Cowboys, sometimes they when under Jason Garrett, they was crispy for the most part. There's not too many games that they came out.
I agree.
Looking they wasn't looking sharp. And Sunday night, they didn't look sharp to me.
They looked like they was going through the motion.
Yeah, so,
like I said just a few minutes ago.
That was a game for them to win, but they just did not look like, I think they just, it was a game that they was going half speed on, not the speed that they should be going. So,
Mike Mills.
Shout out to the Rams.
Shout out to the Rams. Mike Mills on Dallas.
First off, let me start with them Rams jerseys. They look like jail uniforms. They look like the prison team got off the bus and got on the field, first of all. You spend all this money on that stadium and that ugly logo. It looked like that logo is terrible, and so is them jerseys. They got a credit union logo. That's what it looked like. Like, come fix your credit here with us. Them logos is terrible, and so is them jerseys.
Yeah, you stupid. Yeah.
But let's talk about the field. They running game, Malcolm Brown, it was all let's talk about Cam Akers taking the job, but Malcolm Brown looked like he got a good handle on it out there. He was looking good. Cam Akers did okay. He's used to running behind a okay O-line. He ain't have a great one in college. Rams looked like they was missing a step or two on offense. I feel like when that offense really come together like it did a couple years ago, I feel like they'll really get to rolling and really get click tight. Their defense look good, though. Their defense definitely look good. Now, the Cowboys, Dak wanted all that money, right? Let's pay Dak. Pay Dak. He deserves it. He want money like Russell. He definitely didn't show it. And I've been saying it'd be crazy to pay him. He better take them franchise tag money and go get him a Kirk Cousins deal in a couple years because he was not looking like he was worth it out there. The Cowboys' strength could be running the ball because they have a great running back. But they want to be the Falcons and throw the ball 100 times. So go ahead and be the Falcons and keep losing and wasting your proms away. And the other thing, as bad as they look, they still had a chance with that little iffy offensive pass interference at the end of the game. That was a little chicken wing. They could have let them get away with that. That wasn't bad. But Ramsey and all that crying, they cry so much in sports now. Like Ramsey did, like jumping up and down. Like it was a chicken wing. Like you get away with them all game. Like come on now. Yeah. But otherwise, good win by the Rams. Not taking nothing away from them. Ramsey, stop crying. Please. I know it's your first year in COVID. Maybe that slowed down jersey design. Get some new jerseys, please.
No, just go back to the old ones with the Eric Dickinson joints, man.
Wait a minute. It got like, is it San Diego?
San Diego got all the jerseys with the powder. Them powder blues. Now, if I didn't know nothing about football, I'd be a fan just because of the powder blue Chargers.
I forgot all of them. I mean, so they got like 8 jerseys. So I mean, they can figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out, man. So we'll move on to our next game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, headed by Tom Brady, they go down to New Orleans and they lose to the Saints 34-23. Who should I pick to start up with this one? DA, I think DA is going to be the most long-winded person on this one.
He's old.
What? Go ahead, man. And that's you talking about Drew Brees or Tom Brady?
They're both old, but you can see Tom's old as opposed to Drew's old, because in New Orleans they know how to hide Drew's old. This dude, he threw the same interception on Sunday that he threw against the Titans last year. Same part of the field. The ball, he can't get the ball to the sideline as quick as he needs to do it. So if it's not some type of misdirection, so forth and so on, a DB just watching him, pedaling back, looking at his eyes, seeing where he's throwing it, they're going to get him. Next thing is, dog, I love Tom Brady, but I'm not down with the excuses, man. I'm not down with the line didn't protect them. The same damn line last year.
Wait a minute. The excuses from Tom Brady or Bruce Arians?
No, people.
Because Bruce Arians kind of threw him.
Yeah, he threw him under the bus.
Yeah,
Bruce will tell you. He'll tell you when you're not good. He don't care. But the people on the news was like, oh, well, his offensive line couldn't protect Tom. Like it's the same line that wasn't protecting Jameis last year.
That's right.
And no one said anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same 5 bums. They got the D3 dude that was the big story from a few combines ago, a few free agents, and like 2 4th-rounders. Hey, I got nothing against it. But my point is, Tom didn't look good. The running game couldn't get off. If the running game gets off, Tom looks good. So maybe I'll give this week to my boy coming from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Leonard Fournette. And maybe if he gets a little bit more time, I guess maybe he'll be righteous. But dude is old, so they got to really change the game plan. And to think Bruce Arians said, no, he's going to run my offense. Oh, shit. How are you going to run your offense at 43 years old? When
and they throw the ball.
Yeah, your offense is to throw the ball down the field. That's what you used to do. Tommy ain't did that in 5 years. 5. He hasn't done that.
Brady was 23 for 36, 239, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions.
So if you get 33 for 30, you said 23 for 36, right?
That's correct.
Divide that by 200 or something, that's like 4 yards a pass. Math, man. My man Most Def says it, man. Those mathematics will kill you, B.
So they turned over the ball 5 times?
Those were Tom's. And he's real.
Right? Oh, no. How many times? We got 2 interceptions?
Yeah, 2 from him. And then he fumbled 1 too. No. 2 interceptions on him. There's a fumble in there, and then there's there's a few fumbles. Yeah, they got a lot of shit.
He got sacked 3 times.
Hey man, that offensive line that wasn't protecting Jameis, same guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So I haven't heard nobody else say it, whether it be from the greatest podcast in the world, Sports Chasers podcast, or any of them other Johnny Come Latelys that's on TV. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, presently constructed, looks just like the Cleveland Browns from 2 years ago. Overhyped. I said it.
That is a hot take.
Say whatever you want to say. I'm just saying that's just my opinion.
Whatever you want to take, but that's pretty.
One of the biggest takeaways of that game for me is that, yes, just like DA said, both Tom and Drew are old. However, Drew trusts his receivers because they've been there. Tom tried to throw. It almost seemed like he was forcing to Mike Evans, and that connection did not work all night long. Tampa Bay got some work to do. They really got some work to do. That offense looks out of sync, and you should not have that with a quarterback of that caliber, along with a quarterback guru, along with the weapons that they have.
You are a hypocrite because the last segment you just said it's game one with the Giants. Make up your mind, James Eric.
Yeah, it is game one. And like I said, if they don't correct those issues, just like the Giants, even though I still feel that the Giants will get better, Tampa Bay could get better, but they won't if they don't clean up their act. I mean, what are you talking about there, Gus from Jamestown? What are you talking about here?
Randy from Lake Ronkonkoma.
Oh, my bad, Randy.
Bruce from Flushing.
And Tampa Bay really didn't run the ball great. I mean, this guy, Ronald Jones, was 17 for 66 yards. His longest one was a 21-yarder rushing.
See, this is where that's an example of where being a hard ass goes wrong. Because you know Bruce Arians, he has to learn my system before he can get on the field. Leonard Fournette could have gave you better yardage with 17 carries.
Well,
Leonard
Fournette only had 5 carries. He only touched the ball 5 times for 5 yards. 6 was the longest.
If he would put him in there and started him, I'm pretty sure his numbers would
have
been Leonard Fournette versus Ronald Jones.
Yeah. Ronald Jones, and no disrespect to Ronald Jones, but I don't think he's better than Leonard Fournette in this case.
Bruce Arians is a microcosm of a stubborn person who's going to do it.
Sometimes in that case, that could mess you up.
That being stubborn can mess you up.
Yeah,
absolutely. Being stubborn and being set in your ways. This is my way, and there's no other way. Well, you got Leonard Fournette. Why don't you just give him the ball and run the ball? How many times he ran the ball Sunday?
5. He touched the ball 5 times.
5 times.
Yeah,
that's
5 times for 5 yards.
Come on, man.
Your way. Your quarterback is 438 years old. You gotta switch some shit up, motherfucker. Goddamn.
Yo, being stubborn.
Listen, all together, he touched the ball 6 times. He had 1 reception for 14 yards. That was it. Leonard Fournette story. And it's not like was Fournette hurt last year? It's something that I missed. He just switched teams. That was it, right?
That's what I want to say.
Jacksonville got sick of him. They was clearing house, and he was next.
That's fine.
They pulled the Montreal Expos on all of their
But this is what I said.
Players.
These cats did not forget how to play football. You know how to run the ball. You know how to hit the holes. You know what you see. Do what you know. What you've been doing it all your life. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's one game again.
One game. New Orleans was a game, as you say, going away. Drew Brees and getting older too.
Just to let you know.
And Drew Brees didn't look all that great either.
No, to tell you the truth, no, he wasn't. It's Chris. I'm telling you, man. And the only reason why we probably going in extra harder because we haven't seen these guys. We haven't seen no football since the Super Bowl.
All right.
So it's been a while. We haven't had no preseason, so this is our only thing that we could really judge and see. You know what these guys looking like. So
that's correct. And I think the games, like you said, I think we said last week that games we probably won't see stuff really looking really good until like game 4.
Yeah, it's sloppy now. It's still actually preseason.
Still a work in progress. Man.
I'm just shocked that there wasn't that many injuries of first week. Not too many injuries.
Knock on that wood. So.
Yeah.
The dudes wasn't hitting either, so
That's true.
They was hitting in Pittsburgh.
They was hitting in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh was hitting. I was like, man, I was impressed. But
that's because my man Tomlin, that's a fucking cheerleader. He's a real life coach, man.
Oh yeah.
The
one they say that he's not.
Yeah, well, you know what? But Terry Bradshaw, he got his own reality show. That's whatever.
Oh, come on, man.
Anyway. Go ahead.
Can we just hit these Eagles and then we go something else, man?
No. I got you. I'm on. I'm about to do the Eagles. Eagles went down the turnpike to Washington D.C. to play the Washington football team. The Eagles were up in this game 17-0, and I don't know what Riverboat Ron said at halftime. He said, "Yo, I'm dealing with whatever. Y'all guys need to get you together." And the Washington football team came out and balled out and just pretty much still made the Eagles, and they won 27-17. So since DA brought up the Eagles and the Washington Football Club, go ahead, man.
Doug, it's about that bag, man. Old boy Wentz, he got that bag. Dwayne Haskins had what I would say was a bad game. Dude went 17 for 31. He had one touchdown, but what he didn't do was throw it away. Pennsylvania had 2 interceptions. They ran the ball. And then you had 5 receivers that no one knows. Terry McLaurin, Steven Sims, which I guess that's Phil Sims' black nephew. Logan Thomas, that's the name I know. Dontrell Inman. That's it.
Dontrell Inman is okay, but watch out. Terry was a 1,000-yard receiver last year. He was out there eating.
So
Terry is a problem.
They played very well. They did very well. And I think what Ron likes is that, he got Alabama's defense. He plays with Alabama's defense at least the best of it. He got Collins. Big Chase Young is out there. It could have been Ryan Kerrigan, Montrezl Sweat, who was nice, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. I think I got 2 other Alabama cats. Their defense is going to be ready this year, B. They'll be top 5 by the end of this year. And they will be putting hurtings on quarterbacks around the league, because the kid from Ohio State, the quarterback, he's not ready for prime time yet. But Ron knows how to deal with that because he had Cam when Cam wasn't ready. You know? And he built that Carolina team with a great defense. Thomas Davis, Kuechly, he built that team with a great defense. And when Cam came around that year and just started adding on, they go to a Super Bowl. Ron is used to doing it with this type of squad, B. Because I don't think he knows if this kid is a quarterback or not. But I think what will happen is he's always going to stay with Alex Smith in his ear, like, just stay ready. Because I don't think Ron's gonna let a game get away from him. Not one game. I think when things get crazy, he's gonna pull. So, I think they gave Wentz the money. They gave it to him too early. I don't think he's that good. And the problem is when you give Wentz that money, guess what you can't do? Give that money to nobody fucking else. So that's why Philly's gonna be hot garbage. Believe me.
Hey, by the way, Wentz got sacked 8 times.
8 times.
Hey, Russell don't take no sacks. He got the bag. You ain't sacking Russell.
Carson Wentz got sacked 8 times. I'm like,
he stands tall in the pocket.
He stands tall in the pocket.
Shout out to my man Quincy Holmes, man. He's a huge Eagle fan. And
good. I mean, that's a good pass rush. You heard them names. DA was named. Don't make no slouches up there.
Nope.
And then that's what Ron do. Ron coach defense. Shout out to Fat Boy Haskins. That's what I call him. He managed the game. He did all right out there.
Ron and what's my other boy's name? He got he used to coach the Raiders, and then he got fired.
Del Rio.
Del Rio got fired for nothing. They just wanted to put John Gruden back in there. That's another episode.
That was before because it was Del Rio. Then they hired somebody else, and then it was Gruden.
Was it? I think it was Gruden.
That's what I thought it was.
Because Del Rio took him to the playoffs with.
That's the year. That's the year Derek he broke his broke something. Broke
his
and he got Del Rio should still be a coach there, man. But they got rid of him. This is exactly what we're talking about. But go ahead.
I totally agree. The Eagles, they totally. I'm with DA. They game wins the money too early, and if you're going to get a quarterback that money, he has to walk on water, turn water into wine, and he has to be reincarnated.
Well, here's the thing. When do you know when you gave him the money too fast? Because he was trajecting up. He was trajecting upward, and then he got hurt.
It was his second year in the league. That's why.
Right.
I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you no money now.
Is that you going to continue that same standard for everybody? Because
Sam Bradford got the money. What is the problem?
Sam Bradford
got the last non-scale quarterback contract.
Yeah. That's
there wasn't no scale when that was the last one. There wasn't no scale back then.
He's the last one to get it. The reality is this, man.
Is he still in the league?
No.
Why would he want to be? He's rich.
All them concussions he took. He had like 1 million concussions. I wouldn't touch no kind of sport if I was Sam Bradford.
The weird thing is with the sport is that guys see it work and not work. So you take that money as a quarterback. Everybody applauds you. But the other 53 dudes on that field are not taking a cut. They're not taking shorts because you got millions. That's why Trent broke out from Washington. He's like, yo, dog, I'm not taking no short money, man. So you got to kind of deal with that as a team, man. And just be lucky because Crazy Ruben's not playing yet. And when that nut get back there, dude's going to get hurt, D. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube. Just look at Ruben and Foster. Any highlights. Crazy Ruben will kill you out. I see him at dudes and they feet came off, man. On the field, feet out of bounds. Hit a nigga in the middle of the field. Knocked his feet off him. Ruben's a problem. Y'all wait and see now.
Yeah, like I said, the Redskins coming with that win. Ron Rivera getting his first victory as the Washington Football Club team head coach, and I was very happy for him. He was with the Carolina Panthers for how many years? But he's in Carolina, probably 5 or 6 years, I think, and went to a Super Bowl. I think Ron Rivera is a good coach. I, as a Giant fan, actually wanted him to be with the Giants, and that just didn't happen. Since we're talking about the Carolina Panthers, we'll go up to New England where the Pats, the New England Patriots, with their new quarterback, Cam Newton, faced the Miami Dolphins. And the New England Patriots won going away 21-11. Eric, we'll let you start off with this game. What do you think about Cam and this new relationship with Belichick and the Pats?
It's just one game, but it's going to be scary to see how well this team gels on offense. Cam is not as athletic as he once was, especially like going back to his Super Cam years, MVP year. But you can see the progression in his mentality. I actually saw Cam making 2, 3, 4 reads before he either dumped it off or he took off.
Yes, Eric, you're right.
We didn't see that in Carolina. It was either 1-2 pound. That was it. So to see Cam doing that now, I think that's a very good look for him.
Cam
Look,
Newton,
man.
let me give you the stats real quick. Cam was 15 of 19 on 155. Cam also rushed for 15 for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. He actually was the leading rusher for the Pats on Sunday. Go ahead.
Man, he's back to being that dual threat, man. And with this team in that division, with that defense, the Tom Brady haters are going to be live and direct because you may see the Patriots come right back. I mean, Buffalo, I think, is the
Brady
they
is
have
the best all time. How could you be so sacrilegious?
That's not my religion.
Anyway.
So
Yeah, right.
it's not my religion.
Yeah. I'm gonna just say this, man. Like I said, you played the Jets twice, and you played Miami twice. That's 4 wins right there. Yo, man, they have a very good chance of at least getting back to the playoffs. I don't know about winning the division, depending on how these other teams play. They actually run the ball. One thing I was going to say about the Philly game or all these other games, you have to give your quarterback a chance, okay? If you're not making 3-step drops and getting that ball out of his hands, you have to give him a running game. Or what's going to happen? It's going to be like Carson Wentz getting dropped 8 times every week. That is what's going to happen. So Cam was very efficient. He doesn't need to throw no more than 25 times a game. They will do just fine. But it's just one game.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, Miami is just Miami, man. I don't see how Josh Rosen could have done worse than what Fitzpatrick did. I just don't see it. I don't understand it.
But yeah, well, the reality is, I think we talked about this, man, is that, these teams are not willing to give a kid a chance, man, to get better. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have drafted him in the first place because he didn't play 30 games in college, but the reality is still, come on, guys, the kid just got here. Like, it's not his fault.
Right.
Give him a chance, man. But also that big contract helped him as well. They're like, we're not gonna pay no dude like that to be a backup.
Right.
But Cam looked healthy. He looked happy. That's always a good sign.
Yep.
They was running that Denver Tim Tebow offense, couple passes, a lot of running. I don't think Cam needs to be running 15 times a game. Maybe we could cut that.
Mike Mills, I absolutely agree.
I think we could cut that to 10, maybe 10 at most.
I'll say 7 to 8.
7 to 8 is cool, but it's them broken plays sometimes. So maybe 7 to 8 design.
Can't be doing it every game. He can't be doing 15 though. I'm gonna tell you that right.
Nah. I don't think 15 is gonna work.
Remember that New England drafts a game plan and changes it based upon who they're going to play.
Well, so they're not stubborn like Bruce Arians, huh?
Yeah, because you'll have a game where back in the days, Tom will throw the ball 40 times. Next game, he'll run the ball 28 times. They are going to pick on whatever you're weak at. So the hope is that I don't think, that Cam is going to have to run 15 times.
That's a good point you make, DA, about Belichick, looking at his opponent and saying, all right, this is how we're going to game plan for you. This is what we're going to use our weapons to it. Instead of like we were saying earlier about Bruce Arians, this is my offense. You need to learn my offense. You need to run my offense. We're going to throw the ball 40 times, and we're going to have Leonard Fournette on the bench and run him 9 times. What?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. D-Dubb, your thoughts on Cam Newton and the Pats?
Dubb had to step away real quick, man.
Oh, sorry. He stepped away real quick. Well,
no, I'm here, man. Yeah, talking about Cam. I think he played good. I think it was pretty much – it was like soft opening, 15 to 19, 155 yards, 2 sacks. He took 15. but he ran the ball 15 carries for 75 yards. So it was like a soft opening for him. So, is again one game. I'm not jumping out the window. I think it seems like it's they're trying to make it like it's a love affair between him and Belichick already. It's like
yeah, I see that.
Who else was he going to start? Like he was he going to start
Stidham?
Yes.
Nah, come on. Nah, you're not starting him. Not when
you're going to sit him. That's what you're going to do. Is sit him. Jason Stidham. Sit your ass down. Fuck out of here.
Yo, for real, you're going to sit his ass down. So, he's not. Yo, Cam is the guy. And we, like I said, Cam is good. I knew the year before when he was hurt, he didn't look the same.
He was hurt, man. He was hurt.
You could tell. And that's where me and DA we battle because I'm saying, listen, dog, your man Ron Riverboat Ron should have known, man. He looks. I'm looking at him on the couch. He looked bad. So, Belichick is going to put him in there slowly, and that's what it looked like. It looked like a soft opening. It's Miami. I thought Miami was going to be on the come up, especially from last year, and I hope. Good things for Flores. Is it Flores?
Yeah, Flores.
Yeah. I think he's a decent, good coach. But again, he has growing pains down there in Miami too, and I thought they was going to start turning that around. But especially now. I mean, if at any time you trying to get the Patriots, this is the year they try to get them and get them out of there.
And so the Patriots are look like they not missing a beat after game one. We'll move right ahead. This is probably the last standalone game we'll talk about because it's important to what we were saying earlier about Russell Wilson. The Green Bay Packers went on to Minneapolis, Minnesota to face the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Rodgers and the crew went in there and won 43-34. Rodgers threw for 32 out of 44 for 364 with 4 TDs. Aaron Jones ran for 16, carried for 16 and rushed for 66. And, they just did a lot. D-Dubb, what you think about Aaron Rodgers being a bad man, as Stephen A. Smith calls him?
He is a bad man. Yo. And the numbers says it all, man. 32-44, 364, 4 TDs. Come on, man. That's a great game. 127 quarterback rating. Yo, man. And like I said, I think that enough is enough about talking about his heir apparent. Jordan Love is on the bench. That's his name, right? Jordan Love. Let him stay. He's there. Let him sit there. Aaron is a vet in this game, man. I don't, as long as he's hurt, he's not hurt. He's gonna be out there. He's ready to play, man. He can sling that ball with the best of them. So he has a good wide receiver in Devontae Adams. Scantling. Those guys are good. Aaron Jones is a good running back. He's a solid guy. I mean, 16 carries, 66 yards. So I'm not really worried about Aaron Rodgers per se. Now the defense might be a little shaky, but other than that, I think he did a good job. And again, week one, so as a competition after the first 4 weeks, you start seeing everybody starting to settle in, and and you start seeing some different things. But for right now, I'm not worried about Aaron. I think Aaron will be there battling Russell Wilson. And we're gonna enjoy it. Probably down the stretch, we're gonna have a good time down the stretch.
Yeah, that's true. E, what do you think about the Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay?
Yeah, this is what we've come to expect from Aaron Rodgers, man. Another day at the office. Phenomenal display. Out of all my years of watching football, I have never seen a guy accurately, whether he's standing straight up, running to his left, running to his right, laying on his back, taking a shit. I have never seen a guy throw with pinpoint accuracy where only his receivers can get the ball. Probably one of the best back shoulder quarterbacks I have ever seen. With all that being said, if this defense is going to give up this many points to a Minnesota Viking team with no Stephon Diggs, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know where all the Minnesota points came from. However, if you're going to give up this many points, Aaron Rodgers is going to have to do this every week. No less than 3 touchdowns a week to give Green Bay a chance. And I agree with Darrell. Let's stop with these excuses, man. Okay. It's funny how it seems like our favorites, and I'm speaking to society, I'm not just talking about us, but when we have our favorites, we will go at any lengths to provide excuses for them. You know, Aaron Rodgers, I already gave him all his flowers and everything, but however, you only got one title, dude. Okay? It's time for y'all to put up or shut up because Aaron's window is not as wide as everybody thinks. You are right there with the likes of the great Peyton Manning with one title. And with a guy of your talent, it should be more than that. Yes, I know it's a team sport, this and that, the third, but we also know the quarterbacks gets all the glory, so the quarterback got to get all the critique too. So Green Bay needs to go get it done. But the NFC is a lot tougher this year, boys. A lot tougher. Mike. Oh, and one last thing. Kirk Cousins is exactly what I told y'all he was way back in Washington. He's the same way now. He's an average quarterback. There's nothing great about him. He'll give you 300 yards once a season. He'll get you you like that. He'll give you one of those once a season. Where the playoff wins at?
He's still carrying that Aldi shopping bag though. He got an Aldi shopping bag, man.
Oh yeah. His
in the words of DA, his bag is too heavy.
Yeah, I mean his bag was heavy coming out of Washington. I mean, look at the bag they gave him in Washington with those franchise tags. When they did it, 2-3 years in a row?
I think, something like that. Yeah.
And see, like, we got to really. I mean, it's getting late, so we can't do it tonight. But we got a really separate discussion about that coaching thing and the pay structure in the NFL, and like him and Case Keenum got paid the same year for a playoff win here, playoff win there. Case Keenum is not even playing. He's behind Baker Mayfield, but he got the bag. A lot of guaranteed paper.
My man Tyrod Taylor, they keep on jerking him.
Yeah, man.
They keep on, he's not. Tyrod, he was with Cleveland, right? Da.
Damn, this tea is
good. Yeah, they got rid of him.
He's at Cleveland. Oh man, Tyrod, man.
He's good. Yeah, your boy, is awesome, man. I don't want to.
Your boy Ray Lewis said, "Oh man, Tyrod's the good guy."
Tyrod, again, he did everything the right way. Never got in any trouble. Said, "Yo, listen, I'll whatever you need me to do, coach." Right? He starts the season. I think they were 4-2, and then since the team was playing well, they just put Baker in, and then Baker had that good year. It got like Funk Flex, don't get gassed, Cypher, don't get gassed. Mm-hmm. He got gassed. Next year, everybody thought they was going to do something, and
here we are.
Oh, no. That's not what happened in Cleveland. That's what happened to him in Buffalo. Buffalo, he went 4-2, and they tried to sneak Peterman in, and Peterman went out there and threw 5 interceptions.
That's right.
That's how he ended up in Cleveland.
Okay, but the same thing happened to Cleveland.
In Cleveland, they played the first, I think, 2 games. They had him throwing 40 times a game. After he threw 40 times a game, that's when they wanted to put Baker in and start running plays and handing the ball off. So,
Freddie Kitchens sets his dishes at the kitchen. That's Freddie Kitchens. He did that.
I think that happened. I think it might have been a little longer than 4 games, but you're right, Mike.
It was. They took Tyrod out.
Because the first year he was there, he made the Pro Bowl with Buffalo.
Yeah.
The second year, that's Tyrod when he had an okay year. Like they was like 4-4 or something. It was fixable. But I like Peterman. I like him. Peterman still got a job because you know what they say. It's not what you know.
Don't say nothing, Michael. All right. Yeah. We don't have a whole bunch of. I know we don't have a whole bunch of sponsors anymore, but you know.
Whoa. So listen, let me just run by the games we won't talk about. Tennessee beat Denver last night, 16-14. That was
a garbage game. Next,
shout out to Derrick Henry, but go ahead.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, he did a good job last night. Tennessee kicker, I don't know what was his problem, but he got it right when they needed to get it right, and they won the game, 16-13.
You got a hands up over there.
I just wanted. I'm not a hashtag guy, but I think we need to start a hashtag fire Adam Gase. That's all I got. I'm sorry, Kev.
We ain't get to that game yet.
We're not going to talk about it, so I had to say something about it. So I just threw a little hashtag in there.
Oh, this is what you do. You see what I did? You go garbage game, like you keep going. So when they get to that one, yell it out. Yo, fire Adam Gase.
So and that's why I kind of left these games for last. That might be a segment, Mike. A garbage game. Tennessee, Denver, 16-14. Jacksonville defeats Indianapolis 27-20. They actually have fans for this game.
Shout out Uncle Rico. Next game. Come on.
And shout out, just like what they said about Tyrod Taylor, they did the same thing to my man Brissett. Same thing. He was balling last year. He got hurt. Now you bring this guy in. You mean to tell me he did better than what Brissett could do?
That's the ghost of Phillip Rivers.
Yo, Phillip Rivers need to take him his 18 kids and get the fuck up out of here. He's stealing right now.
Yeah, let's go to the next game.
Chicago defeated Detroit in the last couple minutes, 27-23. Any thoughts on that, real quick?
The Lions is going lion. Next, anybody else?
The Las Vegas Raiders, in their first game as the Las Vegas Raiders, go to Charlotte, North Carolina, to defeat the Carolina Panthers 34-30. Thoughts?
Christian McCaffrey needs help, and it's not going to be Teddy Bridgewater, and
Carolina is in the same boat as the New York Football Giants.
Carolina went from riverboat run to riverboat rule. Why are you running it on 4th and 1, especially in crunch time? But I digress. Next game.
The Buffalo Bills against the New York Jets in Orchard Park, New York, upstate New York. They defeat the Jets 27-17.
Fire Adam Gase. Please get him out of here.
There we go. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Please get him
out of here.
The Bills defense look wonderful, but I don't want Josh Allen throwing the ball 40 times. That is not sustainable. And his little cracker arm is gonna fall off. So don't have him throwing the ball 40 times a game.
One thing, Tyrod Taylor, he was with Cleveland. He was 4-3. No, excuse me. In 4 games, they took him out and put Mayfield in.
After making him throw 100 times in 4 games, they ruined his arm and said, "You know what? Let's put Baker Boy in."
Yes.
Anyway,
Josh Allen should not be throwing the ball 40 times. Buffalo Bills. You got 2 good young running backs. You got the ghost of Frank Gore out of there. You got the ghost of Frank Gore going. You got Singletary, who's only in his 2nd year. You got Zach Moss in his 1st year. Run the ball 46 times is not good. I don't care who your quarterback is.
I think the ghost is in Indianapolis with Old Man River.
Nah, he's with Adam Gase.
Oh God. Well, hey, look, if you've been looking to make that nigga quit, there it is. Right there. I'm out.
Well, we'll go to the next game real quick. The LA Chargers went to Cincinnati and beat the Bengals 16-13. This is the first start of
Joe Burrow
from LSU. Burrow real quick as my browser loads, and it loads, and it loads, and it loads, and it's right there. Joe Burrow real quick. Burrow was 23 for 36, 193 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. I think Burrow ran for a touchdown also.
Yeah.
36 For a rookie?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Once again, throwing the ball so many times, unsustainable.
Unsustainable. You got to.
Wait. Hold on. Didn't they just give your man a bag in Cincinnati?
Who? Oh, my man, knockout artist.
Yeah.
Talk to me the wrong way. Joe Mixon. I'll knock your punk ass out.
Yeah, Joe got the bag. Yeah, he rushed.
Yeah, that nigga name is not Joe Mixon. It's Joe Me, son, me. Cause I got the bag, and I ain't doing nothing else for the rest of my career.
Oh, they gotta fix that. They gotta fix that O-line. That O-line ain't.
As Mike Mills said, that's not sustainable as a rookie. You can't have him throwing that many times. You can't.
Though this guy.
And Burrow made a baby mistake. He ain't do too bad. He just made a little baby mistake on that interception. He wasn't horrible.
It's just too much for a rookie. That's all.
I'm just noticing that some of these guys that threw a lot end up losing. If you, I could be wrong. If you threw over 30 passes,
you gotta be
a quarterback.
But it's a scoring league. Remember that, y'all. It's a passing league now. We can't be running the ball no more. It's a passing league.
I'm sorry, Michael.
I don't know who came up with that, but go ahead.
That is no more than
fake news.
That's fake news.
I agree with y'all. I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know what you're saying, Mike. They want to tell you that on TV, but every team that's won a Super Bowl has a running game and a defense. And guess what? Even if it's a sometime defense like last year with Kansas City, they came just enough to make it respectable as a defense. But you got to have it. You can't do it without it.
Right.
Impossible.
Right. Run the ball. It saves. It cuts the clock. You get time of possession. You get field possession. Run the ball. Control the clock. Tick, 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 tick. As Chris Berman used to say.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Run the ball.
Truth be told, you look at this. Mitchell Trubisky was 20 of 36, and Matt Stafford was 24 of 42. Somebody just had to lose on that one.
Shout out to Gardner Minshew. We ain't talking about Jacksonville. He went 19 for 20. That's how you throw the ball accurately and consistently. Just moving the chains. Move the chains, get us closer. Move the chains, get us closer.
And D was saying that about his boy in San Francisco, Jimmy G. Jimmy G shouldn't be throwing no more than 25 times a game. Nope. If he throws the ball 23, 24 times a game, that sets them up. And you like he said, they got the other 27 27 running backs. Eric got fired Adam Gase, man. Adam Gase is really not – he's really a bad coach, man. He's really went down to Miami. I don't know how he gets another job.
Kevin, don't ask that damn question.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
No, that's for the next
time. What time is it, man? We overtime, man.
We overtime. We got to get out of here. So, I'm so sorry.
This shit is good as hell.
The water, all right. Now it's pretty good right when I'm drinking right here.
We can be found on Instagram
Mike Mills, go ahead. Where we at, man? Where we at? Go ahead, man.
We can be found on Instagram at Sports Chasers Podcast. We can be found on Twitter at Chasers Sports. We can be found on SoundCloud at Sports Chasers Podcast Inc. Look at the shirt. We can also be followed on YouTube at Sports Chasers Podcast.
So we need to get Mike. I need to get with you, man. To get with some of those bakery items from the bakery. All right, man. I'm gonna take him up. I'm gonna take him up to New York and give them to the goddamn coaches of the Jets, so maybe they can be a little bit more inventive, kind of free themselves, do some things.
Free their mind.
Le'Veon is hurt.
Free your mind and the rest to follow.
I think Le'Veon says, I can't. Yeah.
Yes,
I think he says it's my hamstring, and that's something that that could, you can improve. You can improve.
Hey, the next year is gonna be my toe.
Yeah.
My
I just think that
I'm not playing for this dude again.
Yeah, I think he's checked out.
He should have came to Baltimore. He wouldn't have got as much money, but he got some wins. Should have came to Baltimore.
Part of the shots, man. We'll start with Eric.
Hashtag. Look, I'm not all about the cancel culture, and I know we talked a lot about, and I know I'm sounding hypocritical, but I don't give a fuck. This guy has not shown that he can lead ants to a fucking picnic. Okay, he needs to be gone. Where somebody please, somebody in the chat, somebody out there in the world, in Twitter and SoundCloud and all this other stuff, please tell us where Adam Gase has been successful at.
He was a high school coach about 15, 20 years ago, and they went out. I'm sorry. But yo, real quick.
All the shots, man.
Real quick, my part. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm just say everybody be safe out there. Shout out. I know it was basically in the NFL, but shout out the Chicago White Sox. Shout out the San Diego Padres. They're putting heat on Minnesota and LA respectfully. And hey man, we got some good playoff baseball coming around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
But football is here now, baby. That's all we got to talk about. I don't want to hear nothing about the Kang and I don't want to hear nothing about none of that other stuff, man.
All I'm gonna say is
baseball is all we need, man. Sprinkling
if them
some
fools from the Clippers lose,
blow
that bitch up. Blow it up. Blow it up.
They're about 8 with about 1 minute and change left in the second quarter.
Yeah, but that ain't good for that kid Murray. That 8's not enough for Murray.
About 30.
DA, what's your part, brother?
Hey man, everybody take care of yourselves, man. Thank you. I had a great time tonight, as always. Before you think of yourself, think of others, everyone. Peace.
That's true.
Bless.
D-Dubb?
Yo, I ain't got too much, man. Everything was a good show. Everybody just, be safe out there. World is crazy. Let's, take care of one another. And spread some of that love around, man. It's the Brooklyn way.
Yeah. Mike Mills always has an awesome part in shots.
I don't have anything too deep tonight. I just want to talk about Monday Night Football. Who in the hell do they have working Monday Night Football now? Why was Kirk Herbstreit up there? Now,
I noticed that yesterday, too. I
love Kirk Herbstreit on college football. The NFL is not for him. Who was doing the second game? Because I don't even remember.
Oh, the crew.
That's the actual crew. That's
the actual crew.
Monday night game for the rest of the year.
Did they have Booger wasn't up there, was he?
No, Booger was in the studio.
Boogie's in the
Shout out to ESPN for getting Booger off the field.
Booger was in the garbage can on the field. He was in the dump truck one night. The next night he's on the scaffold. I was like, what did they got this guy doing, man? You look crazy.
Booger is the Chris Webber of NFL commentary.
Wow.
We need to get him off TV as soon as possible. That's not only to say fire Booger and Chris Webber, but specifically we talking about Booger because we doing NFL today.
Yeah. I mean,
he is horrible. Him.
I just like him on the college side.
Out of there.
There's certain things that you just do, man, and you do it well. You do well on the college.
That's my part and shot. ESPN need to give up on that Monday Night Football. They can't keep nobody in the booth. You see, Gruden went back to the field to coach. Kornheiser scared to fly. Listen, no more Booger. No more none of this.
I pity the fool.
Right, please.
I think Monday Night Football is still trying to create the match.
Let me do Monday Night Football.
I
send them my tape.
Yeah,
I think they just really need the voice, man. The voice of somebody who who's passionate and could get you going, man. There's a Gus Johnson out there.
I like Steve Levy.
Steve Levy's good. Steve Levy wasn't bad last night. He
wasn't bad. I like Steve Levy.
At all. Steve Levy is good.
I like Steve Levy in hockey too, but his best choice in hockey.
Yeah, Steve Levy is good.
We could do it. We just got to get a good sense of. We need the people at the censorship office to be working for DA when he get one of his rants. Just like, and get him out of there. Other than that, I think we could do it because they are terrible. Monday Night Football, the commentary is horrible, and that's my parting shot.
My parting shot today is they talked about Bruce Arians being stubborn. hey, man, if you're stubborn in life, man, hey, get somebody or have somebody challenge you, man. And there's other ways to look at things in life. So don't be stubborn. It can actually cost you. Just telling you. That's on a personal note for myself. Fire in a case.
And Booger.
Still playing?
Yo, they just ended. It's 20-6, the final.
Yeah,
they out there playing football.
Yeah, the Giants played the Toronto Argonauts, man. I was like, I'm looking.
Yeah, the Yankees just drugged the Blue Jays.
Man. Well, listen.
What is that? Go ahead, Kev.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was just saying this is about the second and third 20-game scoring. I seen this.
Yeah, I think the Braves scored 29. They put on Washington together.
They still scoring, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at this shit like they got like a second baseman pitching now. Like anybody could pitch. They like, you come on.
Yeah.
Hey, you understand? So no Cracker Jack peanuts cake. Hell yeah.
I'm like, man, this is something else, man. The scoring production is, they're gonna say the ball is juiced or something, man. But
man, well, it's that, man. We had a good show, man. Love all my brothers, man. Yo, we'll do this again really soon, next week. Yo, on behalf of myself, Kev Warren, the moderator and the host. The Sports Chasers Podcast on behalf of myself, DA, Mike Mills, D-Dubb, James Eric. Yo, this is Sports Chasers Podcast. Yo, we out of here, man. Y'all be good.
Spread some love. Fire.
Adam Gates.
Fire.
Adam Gates, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and Booger too. Take Booger with you.
Big Booger McFarland.
Fire Adam Gase. He ain't got no case. Fire Booger too. Take him with you.